into a global economic powerhouse.
You're talking about social transformation, economic transformation.
No cities in the history of human civilization as we know that was able to do this.
It all started when I kept seeing these posts everywhere about India becoming a superpower. You know, the ones where everyone's saying how we are going to beat China, become the world's factory. And honestly, with all these opinions flying around, I started questioning what is actually happening in China right now. I mean, for the last 20 years, they've been making everything. That phone you're watching this on? Chinese. Your laptop? Probably Chinese. Even the new electric cars everyone's talking about? Yep, those are Chinese too. And you know the crazy part? This was a country that was once poorer than Africa. So the question is, how did they pull this off? What is the secret sauce? You know, everyone's got opinions about China, but how many people have actually been there to see what is happening? So when we got the chance, we decided to do something about it. Our team was visiting Shenzhen, the Silicon Valley of China, for a project. So we took this opportunity to study and learn about what China is really like. They visited factories, spoke to so many natives, and saw the actual state of the city. Let me show you what we found, because trust me, it was nothing like what we had expected. Now, before we begin our trip through China and show you all that we discovered and learned, here's something interesting. Have you ever thought about what makes a country grow? Okay, so there's this economist, Robert Solow, who kind of got it right. He says it's three things: capital, labor, and technology. See, countries start by building stuff, that's factories, machines, infrastructure, but there's the catch. There's a limit to how much you can grow just by building things. The real game changer is actually technology.
That's a great observation. China technology really is a game changer. However, China's story is a bit bigger than that. To understand it, we need to start from 1978 when Deng Xiaoping, China's new reform leader, addressed the nation with a new vision.
我们要学会用经济方法管理经济，自己不懂，就要向懂行的人学习，向外国的先进管理方法学习。
Under Deng Xiaoping, China launched market reforms and opened up to global trade and investment. Over the next 3 decades, those reforms fueled nearly 10% annual growth, the fastest sustained expansion by any major economy in modern history. In short, global trade, infrastructure, and education laid the groundwork, and only in recent decades did technology become the accelerator. So let's come back to her conclusion.
The real game changer is actually technology.
She sounds like making the technology as the root cause for the growth of China. In fact, technology shall be the result from the growth in the past 4 decades of China. Let's keep listening to her story.
Through China. The first surprise actually hit our team as soon as they landed. You know how we always complain about pollution in our cities? So just out of curiosity, they did a quick AQI check there. Guess what the number was? 31. That too in an industrial hub. Not bad at all, right? But that was just the beginning. Our first real interesting experience of the Chinese tech and automation that we've been hearing about came from the taxi driver. You know how we're also used to Google Maps, right? He wasn't using Google Maps, he was using something called A-Maps. And I want you guys to see this. Now, this app wasn't just showing directions, it was actually showing real-time traffic signals and speed cameras. Every traffic light, every speed trap, literally everything was on this. So when the taxi driver was asked about it, he shared that it was made by Alibaba and everyone there is using it.
Let's pause here again, because our Indian friend made a mistake that real Chinese would probably laugh about. First of all, in China, if you say
Thing called A-Maps.
most people won't recognize what you are talking about. They call it
高德 Maps.
And it's not right to say that everyone uses it because there's
Everyone
another
there is
navigation
using it.
giant on Chinese roads. Baidu Maps. Almost every Chinese smartphone user knows it as the biggest competitor to Coudare Maps. So, in practice, most people use both, switching between them depending on the city, traffic conditions, or personal preference, and both work really well. Let's keep listening to her story.
And finally, they arrived at their hotel, just a regular hotel, nothing fancy. And what do they find? Robots. No display pieces, but actual working robots moving around, getting into elevators by themselves, delivering stuff to rooms. Now, obviously, this will get anybody intrigued. So they asked the receptionist about it, and she shared that this is literally found in almost all hotels of China. And it actually does a bunch of things. So the kitchen staff loads it with food, and it automatically delivers the same to the rooms. The receptionist was like, we've had these for years, and it's honestly very, very common. Want to hear something crazier? Alibaba's been running a completely automated hotel in China since 2018. No human staff at all. Most of it is all through one single app. Check this out. This is WeChat. Imagine if WhatsApp, Netflix, Uber, Paytm, and Spotify had a baby. That is WeChat for you. You want to text someone? WeChat. You need to book a cab? WeChat. Watch videos? WeChat. Make payments? WeChat. It has 1.3 billion monthly active users, equating to about 80% of China's population. Now, I think I've mentioned in a lot of our videos how much we love studying infra, the roads. So I was asking my team, how's the commute, how's the infra there? So they made a very interesting observation on how almost every taxi in Shenzhen is electric. Not some, not most, literally 99%. So at first we assumed that maybe it's just the taxis. But no, a large number of regular people are driving EVs too. Guess why? China has a strange lottery system for gas vehicle number plates. So many people who've been in the lottery pool for longer than 5 years, competing with more than 3 million fellow residents for one of these plates. You see, traffic congestion and air pollution are such big headaches there that the government since 2011 has used this lottery to restrict the number of cars registered each year. But on the other hand, if you look at EVs, you can just walk in and drive out, no lottery, no waiting. Now let me show you some interesting numbers around this. Running an electric vehicle there costs around 600 yuan, that's around 7,000 rupees per month. But if you look at a gas vehicle, that's between 1,700 to 3,800 yuan, that's 18,000 to 41,800 rupees. So the math is pretty clear, right? That's is also the reason why there's been such a big boom of EV industry in China. Now coming back to the roads. So when it came to maintaining road discipline and stopping people from disrupting the traffic systems, the government has installed AI facial recognition cameras, and it was quite interesting to see because literally nobody, not even a single person the team saw, jumped a single traffic light. You know, through this trip, as we were continuously talking to our teams and kind of immersing ourselves in this high-tech environment, we began to realize how rapidly AI is growing across the world and in workplaces. It wasn't just about robots or cameras. AI was literally present in hospitals, classrooms, grocery stores, everywhere. And witnessing these advancements firsthand made us realize that embracing AI is no longer just an option, but a necessity for all. It also made me think about Moore's law. The observation that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles approximately every 2 years, effectively doubling computing power while the cost halves. So Moore's law mainly talks about semiconductors and hardware. It also symbolizes the exponential pace at which technology advances. You know, none of us know how much more technology will evolve, but this experience in China served as a wake-up call to be prepared for the future.
Thank you for discovering our tiny channel in the vast YouTube universe. If you're looking for knowledge, inspiration, or even just some fun, we've got you covered. We upload a new video every week. So why not join us and let's grow stronger and happier together.